You've seen this dress. The whole world admired it. But nobody noticed the real story. This was a weapon against Diana's memory. Every detail calculated to erase the late princess's image. April 29th, 2011. Kate Middleton didn't just wear a wedding gown, she wore a manifesto. The lace, the silhouette, the train length, everything designed to counter one woman. Palace insiders whispered about a secret plan. Designers argued over hidden meanings, and the truth turned out even more surprising than all these theories combined. But to understand the truth, we need to go back to the beginning. April 29th, 2011. The entire world held its breath. 1 billion people glued to their screens, cameras trained on one spot, the entrance to Westminster Abbey. Any moment now, those doors will open. Any moment, everyone will see. What will she wear? What message will the future princess send to the world? The stakes are set. Fashion critics making predictions. Bookmakers taking bets on the designer's name. Some whisper about Vivienne Westwood. Others are certain it'll be Bruce Oldfield, Diana's favorite. The tension builds with every second. And then the doors swing open. Silence. Camera flashes. The planet's collective gasp. Before the world stands Catherine Middleton in a dress that will instantly become history. Not flashy, not provocative, but absolutely flawless. First impression, balance, impossible, delicate, perfect balance between past and present, between palace protocol and modern elegance, between what people expected to see and what nobody could predict. Then something interesting happened. While millions admired the silhouette, experts were already dissecting every inch of fabric. Because this dress was speaking, every detail was a word, every seam a sentence. Together they formed a manifesto. Kate chose a path no royal bride had walked before. She didn't follow Diana's footsteps with her voluminous romantic cloud of taffeta. She didn't repeat Queen Elizabeth's restraint. She created something uniquely hers, something that simultaneously nodded to tradition while looking toward the future. The message was read instantly. Here she is, a new princess for a new era. Confident but not defiant. Royal but accessible. Traditional but fresh. But this impression is just the tip of the iceberg. The next detail changes everything. The lace bodice. Not just any lace, handcrafted by the Royal School of Needlework. Artisans spent months creating a pattern of roses, thistles, daffodils, and shamrocks, symbols of the 4 parts of the United Kingdom, woven into a single canvas on the future princess's body. A political gesture? Absolutely. But executed so subtly it seemed simply beautiful. The fitted bodice. Nothing here is accidental. The silhouette enhances the figure without provoking. The waistline, classic, almost Victorian. This isn't a bride from a glossy magazine. This is a woman who knows who she'll become in a few hours. The layered skirt unfolds downward, creating volume without excessive fullness. The technique recalls mid-20th century work, when royal tailors knew how to create an impression of grandeur without theatrics. And now we reach the main event, the train. 2 meters 70 centimeters of satin and lace. Not the longest in royal wedding history, but sufficient to declare, this event will make history. Documents reveal an unexpected twist. Every element of the dress was calculated to the millimeter. The team of tailors worked under absolute secrecy. Studio windows were covered. Mobile phones surrendered at the entrance. Even the mannequin on which the dress was created was stored in a safe. This was an operation of national importance. Behind these details stood a master, a name that itself is a statement. Sarah Burton, creative director of the House of Alexander McQueen. A choice that surprised many. McQueen, a bold house, provocative, avant-garde. Its founder, Lee Alexander McQueen, was a fashion revolutionary, a man who turned runways into theater of absurdity and beauty. He passed away just 1 year before the royal wedding, leaving the house in the hands of his loyal assistant, Sarah Burton. Quiet, reserved, incredibly talented. A woman who could blend McQueen's boldness with classical elegance. Kate chose her, and this choice spoke volumes. The real turning point came later, when it became clear this wasn't just a dress from a fashion house. This was a manifesto supporting British industry. During an economic crisis, the princess chose not a famous French or Italian brand. She chose Britain, lace created in Hampshire, buttons handcrafted by London artisans, fabric woven in England. Every detail proclaimed, "We support our own." Politics through fashion, diplomacy through needle and thread. Now the truth. Choosing Burton was risky. The House of McQueen had never dressed royals. Its aesthetic was too sharp, too modern for palace protocol. But Kate knew what she was doing. She didn't choose safety. She chose the future. However, this decision didn't only spark admiration. Within hours of the wedding, one word flew around the world: Diana. Comparisons were inevitable. They hung in the air even before Kate put on the dress. Her every public appearance analyzed through the lens of the late Princess of Wales. Every gesture, every smile, every clothing choice. Diana became the measuring stick, the standard, the ghost impossible to escape. Her wedding dress from 1981 was a phenomenon. Voluminous, romantic, fairy tale-like. A train 7.5 meters long, 25 feet of lace and taffeta. The image of a princess from a Disney tale. The most important part lay ahead. Kate's team understood perfectly. Any similarity would be interpreted as copying. Any reference as an attempt to replace Diana. So the dress was created as an antithesis. Not voluminous, fitted, not romantic, classic, not fairy tale, royal. Every line said, "I'm not Diana, I'm Catherine." But the paradox is that this very attempt to distance herself led to even more comparisons. A decade later, the situation hasn't changed. Articles still appear with headlines, "Kate versus Diana." Whose dress is better? Who's more elegant? Who's closer to the people? Records from that time show how palace advisors debated every detail. How open should the neckline be? How long, the train? How full, the skirt? Every decision weighed with a glance toward the past. Some claimed Kate deliberately copied Diana's style to win the people's love. Others insisted she was trying hard to be different, to avoid offending the memory. The truth, as always, lies somewhere in the middle. Kate didn't copy and didn't avoid. She created her own path, knowing she'd be compared anyway, and accepting it. And here appears a new character in this story. Gossip, rumor, fashion conspiracy theory that began days after the wedding and hasn't quieted since. First wave, the lace's origin. The official version states handcrafted by British artisans. But theories emerged. Some claimed the pattern was copied from antique Irish lace of the 19th century. Others found similarities with lace from the Victoria and Albert Museum collection. Experts battled fiercely in debates. Burton's defenders presented proof of originality. Skeptics found more and more parallels. Then something interesting happened. A more subtle theory emerged, not about copying, about strategy. Insiders began whispering the dress was deliberately created to cut off any comparisons with Diana. Every detail was the opposite. Long sleeves instead of puffy short ones, fitted silhouette instead of voluminous, closed neckline instead of décolletage. The plan was brilliant. Make the dresses so different that comparison would be impossible. The plan failed. Because people don't need logic to compare. They compare everything. Photographs captured an important moment. faces in the crowd when Kate exits the carriage. There's admiration. There's approval. But there's something else too. Nostalgia. Sadness. Memory of another princess who 30 years earlier also stepped from a carriage in a white dress. The next wave of rumors about multiple versions of the dress. Insiders claimed 3 identical dresses were sewn. One for fittings, a second as backup in case of emergency, the third, the very one Kate wore to the altar. The palace stayed silent. Sarah Burton stayed silent. Silence bred new theories. Some believed the whole secrecy story was a publicity stunt, that leaks were deliberately controlled to maintain interest, that even the bookmakers' odds were part of the game. What really happened? Likely the truth is simpler. The team truly worked in secrecy, truly tried to avoid comparisons, truly wanted to create something special, but they didn't account for one thing. People love finding conspiracies, discovering hidden meanings, arguing about what was intended versus what happened. Kate's dress became a canvas onto which everyone projected their own expectations and fears. For some it was too safe, for others perfectly balanced, for still others a political statement. And everyone was right, because great works of art are always layered. So what's the real story? More than 10 years have passed, emotions have settled, gossip has quieted. What remains? A legacy remains, a dress that defined a decade's style. After the wedding, the world was swept by a wave of imitations. Thousands of brides wanted lace sleeves, fitted bodices, classic silhouettes. Designers called this phenomenon the Kate effect. Wedding fashion changed overnight. The voluminous skirts of the 80s became history. The era of elegant restraint had arrived. But it's not just about fashion. The dress became the first element of a grand strategy. Image politics that Kate built over years. She chose the role of people's princess. New style. Not an untouchable on a pedestal. Not a rebel against the system. But a woman who respects traditions while living in the modern world. Her every appearance is carefully planned. She wears both mass market and designer pieces. She repeats outfits, showing that being thrifty isn't shameful. She chooses British designers supporting the industry. And it all started with that dress. With choosing Sarah Burton. With lace embroidered by British artisans. With a silhouette that said, "I know my place, and I'm ready to claim it." Let's look at the facts. Over 10 years, Kate became one of fashion's most influential figures. Any outfit she wears sells out within hours. Brands fight for the honor of dressing her. Her style is analyzed, copied, discussed. And it all began April 29th, 2011, with a dress that was supposed to be simply a beautiful outfit for a wedding, but became a statement, a manifesto, the beginning of a new era. One dress, 1 billion viewers, one message that rang clear and strong. Catherine Middleton knew what she was doing. She didn't come to the palace as a guest. She came as the master of her own destiny. And when historians analyze William's reign years from now, they'll start with this exact moment. With the white dress and lace bodice, with the woman who managed to create an image simultaneously traditional and revolutionary. Sarah Burton gave her the instrument. But Kate played the music herself, and the world listened, breathless. The truth turned out completely different. This dress didn't erase Diana's memory, it created a new history. Kate wasn't fighting the past, she was building the future. Every piece of lace, every seam wasn't a weapon, but a bridge between tradition and modernity. She chose her own path, knowing she'd be compared anyway. And that was true courage. Isn't it remarkable how one outfit can tell an entire era? If this story resonated with you, hit that like button. It truly matters for the channel. Subscribe to learn more about how fashion changes history. And click the bell There are so many more incredible stories ahead about royal outfits that hide far more than they reveal. Thanks for being here. Until next time.